Forbes is out this morning with its annual list of the world's 100 most powerful women. They include 8 heads of state, 24 CEOs, and a woman who's currently between jobs. Guess who that is, Gail?
I wonder who that is. Initials HC, maybe? With us now to unveil the list. First on CBS This Morning is Moira Forbes. She's the president and publisher of ForbesWoman. And joins us at the table. Before we start the conversation, Moira, let's run down the top 5. Number 1 is Angela Merkel, the German chancellor. Number 2 is Brazilian President Dilma Rousseff. Number 3 is Melinda Gates. Number 4 is Michelle Obama, who's up. Number 5 is Hillary Clinton. And Hillary Clinton, by the way, moved from number 2 to number 5, but you also categorized her differently this year. What's your thinking behind that?
We did. Well, when you look at the top 5 women, what's amazing is that their power has never been greater and more global. Political influence reigns supreme. And what's extraordinary about Hillary Clinton is last year she was on our list as number 2, but as Secretary of State. This year, she doesn't have a job, and it speaks to the lasting power and influence that she has. Everyone's watching her, what's going to happen in 2016. Huge advocate for women, and she's also bringing in big bucks. She signed a book deal estimated $14 million. First female viable presidential candidate. Exciting woman to have in the top 5.
So even though, as Charlie introduced it, said a woman who's between jobs, nobody can underestimate the power of Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Definitely not. Definitely not. And she speaks to the fact that you no longer need a title or traditional platform to be a power player.
Yeah. Also, Melinda Gates. Melinda Gates is getting the credit she deserves because she's been a driving force behind the foundation.
Yes. Largest foundation in the world. And more importantly than the money they give, foundation of over $30 billion, is the fact that she's disrupting how traditional philanthropy is being done. And she, much like the other women, are negotiating with heads of states, aid agencies, and the like. She's one of the most influential change makers, not just today, but for generations to come.
How are these people chosen?
We looked at women across 7 different categories, a much more expansive look on what power means today, not just business leaders, tech leaders, and the like, but media, celebrity, billionaires, and philanthropists. We then ranked them on 3 categories: money, how much they influence, make, or control. We also looked at media momentum. How often are they not just making news, but driving news? That includes social media. Collectively, the women on this list have 153 million Twitter followers. One click. 153 million.
So social
reached.
currency mattered to you this time.
Huge.
Also, for the first time, there were entrepreneurs. That's not a category normally is included on the list. Sarah Blakely of Spanx. Don't leave home without it, I always say. And Tory Burch.
We've seen a huge rise in self-made entrepreneurs. So it's exciting, not just cupcake businesses, but women who are self-made billionaires. Future trend that's going to emerge even greater.
All right, Moira, thank you for coming and unveiling it with us first.
Thanks so much for having me here.
Like that.